Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Journey. Today I am super excited. I have Alyssa Currin on today. Alyssa, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you on. You've been crushing it. Um, like a lot of the other guests, right?
hmm
Today, just kind of talking about your journey, right? Everyone's journey in this business is a little bit different, right?
hmm
Um, everyone sees Alyssa. You protected what 76 families last month?
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy. Um, Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. So everyone sees Alyssa on pace to do protect well over 400 families this year.
hmm
But no one sees Alyssa the first couple months in the business, right? How long you been in the business now?
I just hit a year, I think, last week.
Well,
So,
happy 1 year anniversary.
yeah.
But yeah, you've been absolutely dominating, especially the tail end of last year and going into this
hmm
year, just been on fire. Kind of, if you could take us back to your first couple months in insurance, right? Kind of tell us about some of the struggles and some of the things early on that you had to overcome. Yeah, if you
hmm
want to kind of take us back to that.
Yeah, for sure. So, I started in this business when I was 17. I was a dialer for a couple of top producers here at Pinnacle. And I started dialing. So, like, dialing is pretty much you get rejected like
Mm,
all day long.
yeah,
So I got used to being like just like hung up on, like getting cussed out, all the things. So I was used to just, I had to grow that mentality. It's definitely not an overnight thing. And when you're dialing, you have a certain mentality like, I need to fill their schedule. But nothing really prepares you for when you put your own money on the line and you have to make back your money. It's just a different sense of urgency.
yeah.
So when I first started, I it was the week after I ended college my freshman year, and I got my license. And I saw all these top producers, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to crush it." And I did not crush it. I got my butt kicked. I took like 3 grand, which was like my whole savings.
Yeah.
And I heard so many times that you need to put like all of your money, like just put it all into this business and like just bet on yourself. So I went ahead and did that, and I spent like 3 grand on Georgia leads, which Georgia leads you have to have like you have to have like an affidavit and all these things. And it took me about like 2 months to get my license. I had no money
Wow.
other than that. It was like supposed to take like a couple days, like a week. It took 2 months. And so I was sitting there stressing out for 2 months. I was dialing to get lead money. I was not like making money back. I was still like in the hole. And so I eventually I got my Georgia's license finally. I called the Department of Insurance for Georgia like every single day for like 60 days. I'm like, give me my license, please. But I got it, and like that whole time is just kind of like a blur for me. I just remember like crying a lot and just like not thinking I could do it. Um, I think everyone goes through that in a sense.
Sure.
Like, there's not a ton of people that just come in their first week and absolutely crush it. And we see all the people like that do come in and just crush it, but no one really talks about whoever comes in and it takes them 2, 3, 4 months to get the ball rolling
Yeah.
and start writing big business and things like that. So it's not something that's talked about enough, I definitely feel like.
So, first 2 months, get
hmm
hit with adversity, right? Like,
Yeah.
spent through all your everything, your whole
Everything.
life savings into this
Yeah.
business, right? And then immediately get hit with adversity, right?
hmm
So, within those 2 months, obviously, you're trying everything you can to at least like have
hmm
little income come in, right, from other leads that you may have or had or been given, right?
hmm
Um, why didn't you quit in those first 2 months?
I saw the bigger opportunity. I saw the people crushing it. Like, I saw my mentors who, like, they didn't have any reason to believe in me. I hadn't put up any big numbers. I hadn't had 50, 70K months. I hadn't had that yet.
Mm-hmm.
But they saw something in me and they believed in me. And I think when someone puts their belief in you, I think you need to take that and do as much as you can with it. It's not something that there's no reason for them to believe in you, that you haven't done anything worth believing in.
Yeah.
But when they take their faith and they put it in you, you have to do something with it. I had tons of people. My mom is my mentor. So with that, I kind of, when my mom tells me she believes in me, I'm like, of course she does. I'm her kid.
Right.
Like, she has to
She has no
believe it.
choice.
She has to believe in me. So, but when I heard people like Glenn and Robin and Mindy, they poured into me, they invested in me, they believed in me. Like, you have to do something with it. There's no choice. And I saw the people writing 6 figures, 7 figures, but I didn't see anyone who is 18, 19 years old crushing it
Mm.
and on the leaderboards. And so for me, I wanted to be that face that people saw and kind of like the if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
And so for me, that was what was worth pushing through for.
I think what makes even what you do that much more impressive is you're a full time college student,
Mhm.
right? And on pace to write Hall of Fame numbers,
Mhm.
right? Or President's Club, right?
Mhm.
President's Club numbers, which is a
Yeah.
super impressive. How do you balance that? How do you balance like being a full time college student, not getting off till what time?
I don't get off till 1.
Till 1 o'clock, right? So working almost like a part time schedule, but
Yeah.
being able to write at the level you do.
So I think when it comes to writing at a high level, you have to have a high level of discipline that goes with it. So, my schedule, it's very disciplined. Like, it's the same thing every day. And I had a discussion with Mindy at the beginning of the year, and I wanted to go for like 250. And I
Mm.
was like, I think 250 is good.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, that's way too small. You need to go for President's Club. And so I was like, okay, but like, I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, we'll get 30 appointments a week. Don't focus on the AP, get 30 appointments a week. And so I went ahead and I did that. It definitely, people see like the Instagram stories, they see the leaderboards, they see the highlight reels. No one sees like the day to day behind it and like the mundane and boring routines that go into making those ugh, big weeks a success.
Yeah.
So with having that my schedule, it's 8 to 1, and then from 2 to like 9 I'm running appointments, I'm dialing. I have one day off a week, and that day is like 12, 14 hours of just work. um, I've learned throughout this year that I have to have balance. That's not really something that's easy for me. I have to take time off from work. So with having that, I've learned, like, I've gone through the kind of the trying to go through that struggle of finding the balance.
Mm.
So I take out time. I take a couple hours. I'll spend it with my friends. I'll spend it with my family. And overall, I feel like that makes me a better agent, is finding the balance. Everyone says work as hard as you can, but I think that you have to have those hours and those days where you can recharge yourself in order to hit it at full steam ahead.
Yeah. So I think the way you're able to balance that, right, is when you are working, like you're super intentional with your time,
Yeah.
right? I think that's like a balance where agents maybe want to do a lesser of a schedule, but then if they
Mhm.
do, that time that maybe those 40 hours they put into it are just not
Yeah.
super intentional hours,
Yeah.
right? So I think I've seen you kind of like come in and be able to do that because you're so intentional with your schedule
Yeah.
and with your appointments.
I've had a lot of people ask me how I do it. And even like there was someone who they showed me their dial tracker.
Hmm.
And I had been here for 2 hours. So it was like 4 o'clock. And they came in, they showed me it. They had been here since 8 a.m. and they had 50 dials to
Mm.
show. Like, there's more of a sense of urgency when it comes to part-time that I think people don't hone in on. And people who are full-time, they get outwritten by moms and part-timers just because the discipline and the efficiency and the intensity is not there. Because I'll start at, it's like 3:17. I'll start at 4 o'clock. Like, I'll start being more efficient next hour, or next day, or next week, or next month, and they never become efficient because it's constantly putting it off. And so you have to have like a sense of intensity with it. You have to have a sense of drive, like this or nothing else. There is no plan B, there is no backup plan. You have to make it work. And I think people who come in with a strong sense of why, they definitely start off with having that sense of urgency and that sense of intensity. And for me, that's all it has been. So I knew the steps I needed to take. Mindy gave me the steps. My mom gave me the steps. But now it's just hitting those steps as hard as I can, as fast as I can, and writing as much production as I can.
Love it. When did that kind of like, when was like that light bulb moment for you? Do you kind of remember like anywhere in the business where all of a sudden it just like things started to really click for you?
Yeah, I would say October we had our little convention
Mm-hmm.
here in Chicago, and it was the first speech, and it was Ryan Koski talking about controlling your controllables and making the assumption and assuming the sale. And that changed the game for me. Like,
Mm.
that was everything, controlling my controllables. Like, before that, I wasn't super disciplined. Like, I think people see who we are now and they think that we've always been how we are. Like, people, they think that Ryan Koski's been amazing from day one. They
Yeah.
think that you've been amazing from day one and Caleb Coombs amazing from day one. But no one sees the progression of it all
Love it.
unless you're coming up with them. And I think it's really easy for people to be like, I just want to be Caleb Combs right now. Caleb Combs took 4 years to become Caleb Combs.
Yeah.
He didn't become it overnight. And so I think people think that, oh, I'm not Caleb Combs right now, I'll never become Caleb Combs. Like, that's just not true. I think that feel like we have to be, we'll be top producers in some near future or some far future and like in a couple months down the line. But becoming a top producer starts day one. It starts with your mentality and your activity. And when you think like a top producer and you act like a top producer, you put in the input of a top producer, your numbers are going to eventually start showing that you will be a top producer.
Love it. I think a lot of agents just don't like, they don't focus on at least getting 1% better every day.
Yeah.
Right. Like I remember as a new agent, I was always thinking, okay, how did I improve today? And if
Yeah.
I didn't really have a like a thought in my head that I'm like, okay, I improved in this way or that way, I would go watch a training video.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I knew if I wasn't constantly getting better, I was going to stagnate and plateau really quickly in the
Yeah.
business. And that happened my first couple months in the business. So I got off to a hot start, and
Mm-hmm.
then I plateaued because I stopped investing in
Yeah.
me. Right. Something I really admire about you is I always see you like trying and obsessing over your numbers and obsessing over like
Mm-hmm.
trying to get better. And that's why it's like no, like I'm not shocked when you put up the numbers you do because
Yeah.
you're laser focused on how can I improve, which is
Mm-hmm.
really cool to see. Where does that kind of come from? That drive that you have?
That drive comes from, I think, in the Bible it says, to whom much is given, much is required.
Mm-hmm.
And I've taken that verse. That verse is kind of like the verse behind my business.
Okay.
And I've been given a lot. It's just natural for me to put up and knock down big numbers because I've been invested in. There are people who invested me. I'm not even on their team. They don't get an override check from me, but they choose to invest in me. And I feel like if anyone else can invest in me, why not invest in others? My drive comes from I want to make my parents proud
Mm.
and I want to make me proud. I remember in October, I said next convention I'll be on that stage. And I was. And it was really cool for full circle moment. Never thought it would be that soon.
Sure.
But I think that I was the face that I needed to see. And I became that. And having a 19-year-old knock down numbers, like that should be the normal. Like I feel like I should be doing that. And for me, I'm always trying to push the envelope of to be the best I can be. I think when someone gets good at what they do, they can tend to get complacent. And I feel like when you become complacent, when you stop adding on, when you stop trying to become better, the best you'll ever be is average because they're looking at the people around them, comparing themselves. And they're saying, well, if I'm doing better than them, I'm doing okay.
Mm.
And for me, like, I don't care what I'm doing. I'm always just going to try and be the best that I can be and be even better. Like, I know there are some months where, I keep the same routine. Like, it's the same every single time. Some months I will knock down 78. Some months I'll knock down 50. But for me, I'm doing the best that I can do, and that's enough for me.
Love it. What's kind of some advice that you'd give to a newer agent, maybe who's in like their second or third month, who hasn't really hit their
Mm-hmm.
like stride yet? what advice would you get them to start to like really level up to have the 30, 40, 50,
Yeah.
you know, families in a month?
For sure. I would say sales is a reset game. Reset every single day, whether you knock down 10 or none. There's a motto I took into this year, and it was from March. It was the "Don't give up before the blessing" with Jonah Lewis.
Mm.
That has been my motto. I think that people who are top producers, they struggle just like a new producer. Doesn't matter how much they knock down, we all still struggle. The struggle doesn't stop as soon as you figured it out, so to say. Just think of your why. Your why needs to be strong enough to keep you going when your discipline doesn't want to keep going.
Mm.
Motivation's all good and well, but it's going to run out. And that's where character and discipline really kick in. So you need to have a strong why. You need to have a reason why you're doing this. You don't need to give yourself a crutch. You don't need a plan B. Just go at it as hard as you can. Something that really helped me at the beginning was I reached out to a ton of top producers. And so I saw the top. I saw where I wanted to be. And sales is just, it's kind of like a game of copycat. You copy the top producers. I looked around and I saw who was at the top. I reached out to them. I asked them how they were doing it, what they were doing, their mindset. I asked all of the things and I figured out what made a top producer. And then I also saw the people who were just doing average numbers. And I watched them and kind of what they were doing. And I saw what was common between the two. And so I saw the common between the average and the top, and I chose the top, and I acted like the top. I was nowhere near the top, but it was a mental choice that I was going to think like the top. I was going to act like the top. And then eventually my numbers became top producer numbers. But you have to have a level of character and discipline that no one else will do. Like, people love to say that they work hard, but how hard are you actually working? How many dials are you making? How many appointments are you setting? How many presentations are you actually doing? Like, it's great to be in the office 12 hours, but if you're giving your all for 12 hours, that should be a ton of work that you've put in for the day. And, if you're not going home exhausted, you're not really doing enough.
Yeah.
So,
Love that. I mean, I think every top producer that I've seen that's come into this business and like written at a high level, they did the same exact thing, right? I remember when I started, it's a copy paste business. So I think agents that don't do that are the ones that really struggle, right? Like if they don't reach out, like if someone is where I want to get to, and they're willing to share what they're doing, why would I not ask them? Right?
exactly.
I asked them how much they spending on leads, what type of leads are you buying, what hours are you working, right? Like exactly what they're saying, right? And you just copy paste it and you start taking from a bunch of different people, right? And it just allows you to get better that much faster because you take it and apply it,
Yeah.
right? Um, who were like so I know you're a competitor, right?
Yeah.
We did a guys versus girls here at the office not too long ago, right? And like girls won, right? And you were a big
Yeah.
part of that, right? So early on, who were some of the people that were kind of like, because I remember as a new agent, I would always look at the leaderboard and be like, okay, and I would start to like not compare myself, but I wanted to beat them. I wanted to like start to surpass them.
Yeah.
Who were some of the people that were kind of like on that
Oh gosh.
bullseye for you?
Yeah, I think Glenn Walton's one of my favorite to compete with. He's like my uncle.
Yeah,
I love him. We have a great relationship. Robin Hill,
yeah,
she's also amazing. My mom was also amazing. My mom and me go back and forth a lot about just like booking appointments and things like that. And Mindy was obviously really great. She started building her agency at the time I came in, so it wasn't more of a leaderboard thing. But she's known for being the powerhouse
yeah,
girl boss that she is. And so I kind of wanted to do the same and follow in her footsteps and things like that and make her proud. So that was another thing for me. Christy Wolf, when I came in and dialing, we would go against each other for who could book the most appointments. I'm definitely a competitor. Like, if you say you can't beat me, that will drive me more than any paycheck.
love it.
So, but I'm definitely love the competition of it all. I came in and I saw Kelly and Caleb, and those were two of the biggest motivators, whether they know it or not. They were the youngest that I saw, and
Yeah.
so my thing was I wanted to be the younger one. to come in and beat them all. So that's my goal this year is President's Club, be the youngest President's Club member.
Love it.
So
Yeah.
we're looking forward to see what this year would hold. But
Awesome. I mean, I think like success leaves clues, right?
mm-hmm.
And I think like everything that you're saying is just like the telltale sign of a top producer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think like if you're a new agent and you're watching this, like what are some of the things, what are some of the hints and the clues that
Mm-hmm.
you're leaving behind, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's very easy, like, because again, if I think it's if you're a competitor, like this business is like is for you, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
this is the best thing because you can see the leaderboards every single week, who's on top, and then just reach out to them and figure out what they're doing differently than what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? I think something that helped me early on in the business is like I remember my first couple dial days, I was calling fresh mortgages. They just come out like the calling
Yeah.
mortgages, right? So I remember my first couple days I was spending heavily on them, and my first thought was like these leads suck,
Yeah.
right? And then but after like yeah, after looking around, I'm like, wait, why is everyone else around me having success with them? So
Mm-hmm.
what's the difference? Oh wait, I
I
suck,
suck.
right?
Yeah.
And so once I started reaching out to them and started saying exactly what they said, and when they heard different objections
Yeah.
and got that rebuttal, and then it started to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, let me just outspend you. If I can outspend you and outwork you,
Yeah.
I should have a good shot at beating you, right? So and
Yeah.
that's what allowed me to start getting better and start protecting 10 plus families a week was just like when I started to copy paste the business
Yeah. I think the best thing about this business is that hard work beats talent every time.
every time.
Every time. And so there are a lot of people who are a ton more talented than me, but
Mm.
there is no chance that they will
But you had
outwork
sales
me.
experience though, right?
No, I had none. My word, I was 17 coming
Yeah.
in. The only job I'd worked before this was like McDonald's. So like coming in, like if I could outwork you, I knew I could beat you. It
Yeah.
was just a matter of how much it took. And so for me, that was my favorite thing is that no matter how good you are, I will beat you every time.
Yeah.
And I just took that and you just kind of got to run with it and you've got to go as hard as you can, as fast as you can. Because I'm just pressing as fast as I can to my yearly goal. I have my daily goal, I have my weekly goal, I have my monthly goal, I have my quarter goal. But overall, it all compounds to a yearly goal, and you will always get a lot farther with the daily goals and the weekly goals. If you're hitting those, you're overall going to get a lot farther in a year than you would if you had no goal at all. So I think it's okay to fail. I think it's okay to not hit your goal, but because you went a lot farther than you would have if you had no goal at all.
Love it.
As long as you're pressing towards something, that is good enough.
Yeah. What is how many like for a run day? How closely do you book your appointments?
I book in 30-minute time increments. I work with a lot of fresh leads,
Okay.
and I've got my presentation down to I know if they want to buy or not within the first 15, 20 minutes.
And on a dial day, typically, what are you trying to book? How many appointments do you want on your calendar where you're like, okay, I feel like I'm in a good spot. Like, what does
Yeah.
kind of that look like?
So right now I'm in the summers, so it's work as much as I can, as hard as I can.
Mm.
I work typically 6 days a week.
Okay.
So I have 3 dial days, 3 run days. My dial days are full, and then they'll have 4 appointments at the at the bottom. So I'll book like a 7, 7:30, 8, 8:30. Um, and my run days, those are jammed packed. Those start tomorrow. My first appointment is starting at 8 a.m. My last one starts at 8:30.
Mm.
So, and it's just every single slot, every 30 minutes, every 30 minutes, every 30 minutes. And by doing so, I've put the numbers in my favor to write big numbers on those days, and my controllables are in place to have a good day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And today I've just been booking and booking and booking. I've been off the last few days, so I'm just catching up and putting myself in a place to crush tomorrow, to crush Saturday, and putting myself in the best position. By knowing my numbers, able to kind of manipulate the numbers to get where I want to be.
Love it. Any other parting shouts as we kind of wrap this up? Any other parting shouts for a new agent who's maybe coming on and wants to be the next Alyssa Currin?
I'd probably say just don't give up. I think that if you're okay with where you are, you're okay with average. And I don't think anyone would honestly say that they're okay with that.
Mm.
And so by giving yourself a chance and betting on yourself in this business, there's no greater opportunity. So on the hard days, remember what you're striving for and what you're working for, and just don't give up before the blessing.
Love it. This has been super helpful. Alyssa, it's been super cool to hear and obviously see your journey over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Super proud of you for
Thanks.
what you've been able to accomplish. I know you're just getting started in this journey,
Mm-hmm.
and can't wait to see what it looks like in the years to come.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.